Okay, this could be bad. I was playing yesterday and I lost my connection and got kicked off the server right when I was leading a creeper into my charged creeper farm, so hopefully he's not there anymore. So that happened. Look at all these creepers, they just want to become captives. But we're not going to be doing the charged creeper farm today, guys. We are done with this area. Well, I'm not. I've still got a few more creepers to load into the farm. And you know what? I've built the entire thing and I haven't even tested it to see that it's going to work properly. But I'm sure it will. I thought I'd just bring you here to show you the last few finishing touches I've put on the place, big and small. Here's a small one. I used to have some exposed redstone here. I've just replaced that signal with observer blocks, so they just lead down to a sticky piston with a redstone block on it, so that'll flick the lights on and off. Pretty easy. And what else have I done? Oh yes, I've started getting rid of the trapdoors because apparently the lightning won't strike the creeper if I leave the trapdoor there, so I've got carpet on top of a bit of string. And so you can see where I've put creepers in and where we've got left to go. Not much more to go. We're nearly done there. And over here, my last section of the farm that I hadn't finished off. I think I said last episode I was going to try and decorate it like an airport waiting room or something, but I thought it was a bit more important to have a bit of space to walk around and staircases up to the different levels, and this is all spawn proof. So I've moved my portal down here. It's much more convenient and made a little AFK room here, and it's nice and safe so we can AFK at the fissure. I've got my little trapdoor down to collect the heads when they end up on the armor stand there, so nothing too fancy with that one. And just for fun, behind the portal I put in a little bedroom. Somewhere we can store the free books that you get from the AFK fishing. I haven't done much. I've got one book in there at the moment. And the only other thing I put in, I had this little space here. So I put in the gift shop. So I've set a price for people, like they can use the farm. I've opened it up. Anyone can come and use the farm, but for each head they take out, they have to leave a player head behind. And I doubt anyone's been in here yet, but yeah, it's my little gift shop, and I might even use it for selling heads a bit later on. So I'm nearly done loading in all these creepers. A little bit more work to do, and then I'll start doing a bit of AFKing and testing if this farm actually works. But we're not going to do that today. That's boring stuff. We're going to be in the Nether. So this is a pretty cool tunnel. It's you can use the minecart, you can run on it, or because I got the packed ice, you can use a boat and move super quickly. But there's no real unloading area here, so you get back, there's nowhere to put your boat or your minecart that you came in. And then especially up the other end, it's pretty dodgy there too. We need to rig up something a little bit better than what I've got here. I've got minecarts sitting in item frames. You know, it's all a bit dodgy. We need some automation, and there's a little bit of room underneath. I want to do some redstone. So basically I want to have two buttons, one if you want a minecart, which who would want a minecart, and one if you want a boat. So you just walk up here, you press the button, and it magically appears right here. But then what I also want to do is just be able to break it, and hey, well, that's not what I had in mind. Come back. Let's try that again. Just break it. Yes, lovely. And then have it picked up by a hopper and taken away, and then just put into the dispensers for when you push the button it appears again. But I need to be able to separate the boats from the minecarts, so I want one hopper to collect both, but then they'll be taken to different areas, and that shouldn't be too hard to do. So I haven't got a lot of space here. We might actually jump into a redstone world and see if we can figure out what we're going to do for this. And yeah, I probably have to, it's going to be under the ground. I think we probably have to build it around here somewhere. So I haven't figured any of this out yet. We're going to do this together. So basically I want to spot where we're going to come along in the minecart or boat and just stop. So something like this. Now my only problem about having the dispenser for the boat and minecart up the top here is when we power it, I think I'm going to end up having exposed redstone. Is that a dispenser? Oh no, that went straight into the hopper. That's not what I want. I was certain that dispensers could lay boats. Lay boats. Now let's try it from this direction. Really? Does there need to be water? They can. I know they can. Does there have to be water? That's not going to work in the Nether. Okay. Okay, it looks like there has to be water, so we're not going to be auto-dispensing boats. But I suppose you could just press the button and it spits it out at you and then you place it yourself. That's not the end of the world. Alright, we'll give ourselves a bit of room to work with. So I want to have the minecart or boat come in here. That's right, I wanted 2 of these, didn't I? There we go, just so there's definitely enough room to pick up the boat in the hoppers. So it'll come down here and then I want to get them separated. So that should be pretty easy, especially since the boat isn't going to be dispensed. It's going to go straight into a hopper. So yeah, if we do this, get rid of you, put it down there, put a hopper there with a piece of track on it. So this is pretty easy. A boat coming out of the dispenser is just going to go straight into that hopper. But a minecart, do I have a minecart? Yes, I do. Is going to go onto the rail. And I can just send that over to another hopper, I guess. Okay, here's where the magic happens. This was pretty easy. So the first hopper is for boats and the second one is for minecarts, although I'm not sure how far the boat's going to shoot. It should go into that first one. So in the dispenser, I've got a boat and a minecart. Let's see which one comes first. Minecart, boom, runs over here, hits the cactus, into the second hopper, and the boat into the first one. Alright, everything's going to get in the way there, so I might try moving this off to one side, so that gives us a bit more room to get to that dropper. And I'm just putting in this tall dropper item elevator that I made out of dispensers because I'm a dope. There we go. And then I realized, why am I bringing this down so low anyway? I can't remember why I put it all the way down there to start with, but yes, it doesn't need to be quite that low, does it? This is going to work great. This is fine now. We've got a 3 high dropper item elevator for the minecarts. And yeah, as long as they're 3, they're pretty easy to control. So I don't think I even need to really automate this. I can just do it with the button. So we'll have a button for a minecart, which where should I put? And why don't we break out the observer blocks? This could be fun. So the good thing about a 3 high dropper item elevator, if you run a repeater into that middle one, he's going to connect. He's going to be able to power all 3 of these droppers. So one minecart in the bottom one, on the first hit, should send him up to the second one. Yep. And then this hit should send him all the way to the top. Yes. So using 2 hits, we can get it to go all the way to the top. And what better to do 2 hits than an observer block? Because it always powers twice on a button press. Alright, I got a few minecarts loaded up in the bottom there. So 1 hit of the button, is that going to send a minecart all the way to the top? No! What did I do? Oh, no, of course. Yeah, having a button powering the block isn't going to activate this observer block. Like if it was a hopper here, and I sort of powered the hopper. Oh, hang on. That's a thought. What does this even look like from up above? It's a little bit ugly. Does this look ugly? Oops, that definitely looks ugly. That's not what I wanted. So I can make this work, but I've got to make it look nice as it's working. Let's try this. 1, 2. Haha! But that was a bit slow. Let's try the stone button. Oops. That's not very noticeable, is it? And now I'm going to have a minecart. Go away, you. Go away. Minecart probably went to the middle there. Yes, it did. Alright, let's see if this is much faster. That's a lot faster. That's pretty cool. I might go with that. But yeah, I don't know about having the button on that guy, just because it doesn't really stand out. Okay, this looks better. Boom! And we get a pretty little light. Okay. That's the minecarts solved, I think. It's not the most compact thing in the world, but it works. So the boats. So if that's the minecart button, the boat button's going to be over here, and I'm running out of room. Actually, let's change this. Like, this is a waste of space over here. That's not where we're going to put the minecarts. We're going to put the minecart thing here, and we're going to use these hoppers to our advantage. So observer block right there, and a block right there. Dust does the same thing. Same thing. Awesome. So we can get rid of that now. So this can be our boat button on this side, and we've got lots of room to play with. And I'm not sure I like the buttons being so low to the ground, because this is where you're standing. The button should be a little bit higher, surely, which isn't hard to do. I could stop shooting. We could just do an extra observer block like that. Put our minecart right down the bottom. Press it. Yep, that's fine. So yeah, let's raise these up a little bit. Okay, our buttons are a little bit higher and it still looks okay. So is that gonna power any of them? It still works. I don't really get why that's getting powered. Is it the button powering it or the observer blocks? I don't see observer blocks. That's kind of weird. I wouldn't have expected that would power that dropper. Apparently it does. I'm thinking, this is amazing, this is amazing. No, like if that was a block, it's just powering that block there. Let's chuck a random thing in. Boom, that's obvious. So dopey sometimes. Okay, oh, actually, it's going to do it in the wrong order, but this could be a really simple way. If I just have a bunch of these guys, I'd need a few boats in it for it to work, but hold the phone. I think I've got something interesting. Let's bring this hopper chain over this direction. I'm starting to get a little bit cramped in here. So there we go. You're for the boats. Okay, we've got a few boats in there. So what I'm thinking is when I press the button, it's going to read off this. It's going to power that block, then power that block, then power that one. So it's going to be powering all of these droppers, but it's going to be doing them sort of in a reverse order. So I think one of these, on the first press, one of these boats should go up to the middle dropper. What are you doing in there? Get out of there. And then the next press, a second boat will come up to there, and the one in the middle will come up to here, and eventually there'll be boats in every single dropper. So just the buttons should eventually, once these are all filled up, just keep spitting them out. So we've got two in there? Really? Why did you get powered twice? Oh, it'll probably still work. Let's give it a go. Yep, so two in the middle one. Oh, because we're getting the double signal on the on and the off. Okay. This is not doing what I expected now. They're just all going into that one there. You're not working. Oh, please work. What else can we do? Let's try this. Are you going to make much of a difference? So let's put all our boats back down the bottom. Now what's going to happen? Okay. Oh, we got one. Okay. One. That looked good. we've got extra ones ready to go there. 1. Aha! Ooh, what's all that extra clicking going on? 1. Good, 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 good. Okay, this is what I wanted. We're getting 1 boat at a time, even though this is sort of double pulsing. And the rest of the signals just make sure that any other boats in the system make their way up to that top dropper. But that top dropper always gets rid of 1 at a time. So that's good. We can just load this up with boats, and that's a self-powering item elevator. This is pretty cool. Last thing to do is anything that comes down here has got to be automatically spat out. Shouldn't be too hard. I'm going to do my all-time favorite little thing here. So I'm sure there are easier ways to do it now, but I'm so used to building this one that I'm going to stick with it. Okay, so a boat going... Well, let's try and get in a spot where we can watch it. So a boat getting broken and going into this thing's going to be dispensed. And did you go to where you were supposed to go? Now, we better empty all this out first. Okay, so boats are working fine by the looks of it. There it is. Okay. Now I've got an inventory full of boats. We've got to get some minecarts to test it. Okay, a minecart gets broken. It should end up all the way down there. No. What happened? Where'd my minecart go? Did it just break and go flying off? Where'd it go? You're a dropper. You're not a dispenser. So the minecart's down there. Okay. Let's fix this. Why do you guys look so similar? Should look different. Be much easier. Okay. Test 2. The minecart gets broken. Should end up in this dropper right here. So then when we press the button... Boom. Okay. I think we've got a working design, guys. It's I wasn't aiming for it to be super compact on the first try, but this isn't too bad. I think we might... I'm sure I could compact it a lot better if I really needed to get rid of some of those hoppers, but I think this is our system. Yeah, this is what we're going to use. I really need to test things a little bit better. Okay, before I go into my slightly epic failure, I'll show you what I'm doing. I've put it in, so this is the entrance to the Blaze Tunnel, and I've put it in slightly downwind of the tunnel here. So this is the old entrance. I didn't want to build it here because you can see this netherrack wall behind us. It's pushed back from the hub a little bit. So if I wanted to cover my redstone, I pretty much had to build it behind that wall. So that's okay though. This gives me the opportunity to build a bit of a nicer entrance, something that screams Blaze Farm, so people know where it's going. And so you would walk in here, and here's the control panel for getting the boats and the minecarts. And I decided to put a cactus in here. We'll grab the boat out. The boat is in the system somewhere. There's only one of them. There it is. So the boat thing is working fine, but we'll get back to that in a minute. So yeah, the cactus will break the minecarts for us, but it'll also break the boat. So it's a little bit slower, and I take a touch of damage. I'm not sure if I'm hitting my head, but it's probably the cactus giving me the damage. But yeah, that's a bit easier. It doesn't look as nice, but it's a bit more automated. So the problem is though, this system for getting the minecarts out has a little bit of a problem, and let's see if I can get in there, put some junk in the system, and I'll show you what it is. Okay, I'm just throwing in a bunch of different items here so we'll be able to see it fail. See, when I tested it, I was testing it for having like 1 or 2 minecarts in the system, but I want to have a lot more than that. And that's where it falls on its head. So let's replace that and start pressing buttons. So nothing will happen at first, I think. Oh no, we've got 1. Let's go again. It's only a matter of time. Oh, yep, there we go. 2 came out. Yes. There's our problem. So this means we have to go back to the redstone world and make a fix. And I can't be just redesigning the whole thing. Well, I could, but I don't want to because I've already built it. So I've got to try and think up a fix that requires minimal adjustments. I want to have all this area sort of covered up here nice and flat. So that makes it pretty hard for me to power that guy. I kind of have to have this repeater going into there just to power him. But I only want this flashing once, not twice with these observer blocks. Now I could get around this pretty easily, I guess, by putting a piston in there. So if you have an observer block and a sticky piston, put a redstone block on the end, then you can, one press will make it basically power something once, but that's pretty noisy. I don't know if I want to go for that. Okay, this is kind of dumb, but I've come up with a solution. This would be simple if I wasn't using an observer block, but because I'm using one over here, for the look of the thing, I want it to be the same on each side. So I've done a really dodgy way of turning that double pulse into a single without using a piston, so it's a little bit quieter. There is the noise of a dropper, but actually I don't think it makes any noise because I'm shooting straight into a hopper, so it probably doesn't make any noise. But basically what I'm doing here, there's an item in this dropper. So when you push the button, the signal comes down here and powers that bit of redstone dust on the block, which fires the dropper. So it fires an item into this hopper, which the comparator reads and sends the signal over here. Then the item has to travel into this hopper, then this one, and then back into the dropper before it can fire again. So even though this is getting powered twice, this repeater's on a long enough delay that these hoppers just get locked in time, that by the time the second pulse comes through, the item hasn't been able to make its way back into this dropper. So actually we probably get a second bit of noise there when the dropper's firing and there's nothing in it to fire. But this should work. It's a bit dumb, I know, but you know what? I am pretty sure I've overthought this. Yeah, I know what I want to do. Not sure if it's going to work, but I always forget about locking repeaters, so maybe this won't work. Ooh, hello. Hello indeed. You're a bit cheaper, aren't you? Alright, let's try and put you into this. I think that's my circuit. It's actually bigger than the other one I made, but it's cheaper. And now it's not even working. Oh, the timing's completely different because I'm using a lamp. Alright, let's go back to the drawing board. I bet this changes it. It does, okay. Alright, let's scrap this, start again, and we'll work on the timing all over. You know, I'm sure there is a simple way to do this, to turn the double pulse from an observer block into a single. Like a really easy way to do it. I know you can use the piston, but I mean a silent way to do it. So I've discovered one way, a really ridiculous way with a bunch of repeaters, and the way with the droppers and the hoppers, but if you know the simple way to do it, guys, just please tell me. Please tell me. I need to find this out. So we're over at the Blaze Farm end of the track at the moment, and there wasn't much room to do anything too special here, so what I've done is just put down some hoppers so we can manually break our minecart or boat, and it'll get collected, put in the dispenser, and when we're ready to leave, we just push a button and we get it back. So that was pretty simple, but let's go to the business end of the track. So in the 1.12 update, they fixed that thing where you can fall into tilled earth when you jump on it. But I've found another thing that they maybe need to fix. So here we go. I am inside of this hopper. That's not real good. I mean, you can jump out. It's not a big deal. But yeah, if you're in a boat and you break on a cactus, you're going to fall into stuff. I was falling into these half slabs before, but I filled all that in, so it's not a big problem. So this area's now finished. I haven't decorated the front of here just yet. I really want to trap 2 blaze right here. It'd be so cool. But there's carpet everywhere, so I don't know how I'd go getting them here in the first place, but we'll think about it. So I haven't done a ton on the decoration just yet, but this is working just fine. We've got our button for the minecarts, which is good, go away, and the button for the boats. And this is pretty cool, actually. I've got the iron bars over the top of that, so it sort of flies out at you, rather than just popping up right there. So that is pretty cool. So that's it for the episode, guys. Something a little bit different today. We spent most of the time in a creative world, but I had a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. So this cactus is getting in the way. It's kind of annoying, but doesn't matter. Cheers from me, guys. I'm Cortezerino. See you later.